Welcome everyone back to the channel. Sorry I've been a little AFK for about a week, but I'm back making some new videos. Also got a new layout. Let me know what you think about this deck building layout and also the gameplay layout that will follow. Hopefully it's a little bit more up to standards to what you guys have been used to. So I'm going to go through this new deck that I'm calling Unlimited Power. It's all about Red Skull and Shuri. And just kind of show you what it does. Show you some replacement cards if you need any. And then kind of just take you through some gameplay. That's the whole point, and that's what we're going to get to. So we got a pretty simple Sunspot here in the top left. We got Iceman, we got Okoye, Scorpion, Maria Hill, Nakia, and those are kind of, really, to be honest, all flex cards. None of these are as that important as the top portion of this deck, and even I'll include Rhino in there as well. Rhino, not as important. So really, this can really be filled with really whatever you want. If you really prefer to play, like a different 1-2 combo outside of Iceman and Scorpion, you totally can in this deck. You want to play, Rocket Raccoon, Korg to screw with your opponent, Agent 13 for extra hand draw, whatever. You can play whatever you want in these slots, and even the 2-drop slot. The only reason I have Okoye is to give a little extra power, so when Shuri gets played, she'll double that. Because Okoye on reveal gives every card in your deck +1 power. So, outside of that, seriously, none of these cards are all of that important. So if you don't have Maria Hill or whatever, don't worry about it. She's just in there because I think she's a really solid 2-drop, 3 power, and gets you a random 1-cost card. But between the last 5 cards, that's really where the bread is won in this deck. So we have Shuri. If you're unfamiliar, Shuri is a 4-2. On reveal, double the power of the next card you play. A lot of different ways to use Shuri. I think this is a little bit more of a simple way to do it. Some people really like to use it on She-Hulk and things, but I think the most obvious way to use Shuri is pairing that with Red Skull. Red Skull is the big bad. He's a 5/15 ongoing. Enemy cards at this location have +2 power. So he will give additional power to the enemy, but if you double 15, you get 30 power, so who cares? And then if you hit that with Nakia, you get 34 power. If you hit it with Okoye, you get 32 power, etc. So you get really big power Red Skull. And then after you have a giant Red Skull, you have 2 options. You either Taskmaster, who will set this card's power equal to the power of the last card you played, which would have been that giant Red Skull, or you can Arnim Zola, who will destroy that Red Skull, and in doing so, add 2 copies of it, 1 to each other location that wasn't destroyed at. So essentially you're going to play it at one location, you're going to then lose that location and try to win the other 2. Classic Arnim Zola strategy. But to fill that in as well, I like to put in Black Panther. He's really, really good with Zola. I mean, so if you just play Black Panther on 5, he goes up to 8 power on reveal because he doubles his power. Zola kills him, makes 2 new ones. They stay at 8 power and they double again up to 16. So if you add Shuri into the mix of that, she'll originally double him to 8. He'll double himself to 16. If you Zola that, he doubles himself to 32. Very similar power as if you Shuri into Red Skull into Zola. Very, very similar. It's a little bit less power if you Shuri into Black Panther. That'll put you at 16, and then just Taskmaster will just be another 16. So a little less power there, but in other ways it's better. And then he's even better if he gets hit with Okoye or Nakia. He'll get even additional power. So he's really, really solid for that style of gameplay. That's the list. Like I said, have some fun with these flex cards early. One of the big downsides of this deck is since we are going to have a massive 15 power or massive Black Panther, Shang-Chi can really brutalize us and smack us up and kill our big units. So armor is okay in the deck, but you got to be careful because armor will interfere with Arnim Zola. He destroys a random card at that location, so you don't want to do that. But when you are going to play Arnim Zola, you want to play him at a location that only has what you want to destroy. So you can get around that pretty easily if you want to go with the armor. But you can also put Cosmo in here to stop the on-reveal effects. You just got to, again, be careful. Shuri's an on-reveal, Taskmaster's an on-reveal, and Black Panther's an on-reveal. So you got to be a little careful with that. Outside of that, there are really good options to try to stop your opponent's Shang-Chi, which is our biggest threat. It's a really fun deck. It's, you normally snap early if you have your combo and go for it. If not, you probably want to get out of there. Not a whole lot of ways to win the game unless you see at least Panther or Red Skull, and then you want either Taskmaster or Zola, and you really want to hit Shuri if you can. So, like I said, combo deck. If you don't see your combo, bounce out. Make sure you get your combo, and then try to win big cube games. So let's jump right into some gameplay right now. All right, let's see what we got. We got Rhino, Scorpion, and Red Skull. And Shuri. So we have a good curve after turn 2. Or after turn 1. Starting in turn 2. And let's hopefully we find something that we want on 6. Plunder Castle is interesting. Not going to be able to Rhino that because I can only play things that cost 6 on it. And Goose is locking me out of that location a little bit as well. This is pretty bad so far. I don't like these locations. I think I'm going to have to Rhino Bar with no name. Because if not, he's just going to win that location, which is pretty terrible. Alright, he plays Falcon and returns Agent 13 to hand, which is kind of whatever, and he gets Falcon returned. But I Rhino it, which is solid. That's why he's in the deck, just so he can counter a really bad location like that. Alright, we're going to have to just go with Shuri here on the left, and then most likely just drop Red Skull right on top. I can't play him over where Goose is, which is unfortunate. Goose is definitely shutting me out a little bit here. But I'm going to go with Red Skull here. And if I don't draw, the only 6-drop I run is Zola, so he can't be played in the middle anyway. He's got a big old Devil Dinosaur. I've got an even bigger Red Skull, so that feels good. Alright, so if he has a 6-drop, I think we're SOL. If he drops a 6-drop in the middle, not much we can do. We need to try to win the right. But if he drops a 6-drop in the middle, actually, we can just win the right. So I lied. It's not as big of a deal. Can he win this side, though? This left side? He needs still 16 power. I feel all right about it. So I'm just going to give... I could obviously play Nakia, but yeah, he's going to retreat. So finish talking through my line real quick. I could have played Nakia on the left to give myself a little extra power on the left location, but I'd rather secure the right location by letting Sunspot gain that 4 power, or that 3 extra power. So he would have been plus 3, so it would have been 7 extra power here. I would have been winning it by 3. So if he wants to win the middle and that, he has to do a lot of work. If not, I'm probably going to win the tiebreaker just because Red Skull is 30 freaking power. So nothing with Taskmaster or Zola, but sometimes just 30 power Red Skull is enough to win a game. Let's get some more. Alright, so we got Iceman, Zola, Maria Hill, and Panther. So we're going to obviously try to set up the Zola-Panther combo, and we can't do that at Space Throne, because Space Throne only allows 1 card to be there, so we need to do that at a separate location. Ongoing effects are doubled. Definitely don't want to double our ongoing Red Skull, so we got to be a little bit careful of that as well. We get Silver Surfer from Maria Hill, which is fine. Alright, so we have really what we like, which is great. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to play Quicksilver here, which isn't the best 3-drop, but we have our turn 4, 5, and 6 set. So we're going to play Shuri in the middle, and then we're going to play something massive. Oh, I actually shouldn't have played... Well, I got bailed out. I should not have played that 1-drop. I forgot. You want to leave an open spot, so when you do Zola, they get a spot at each other location. I would have filled up this location if I played Shuri here, which would have been bad. So I'm going to drop Shuri in the middle now that he had cleared out my 1-drops, which is good. Shuri's going to get dropped. And now I can double the power of the next card I play, which I'm going to double Red Skull. And now that I drew Taskmaster, it didn't really matter. I could have just play Taskmaster instead of Zola, but if you're going to do Zola, just the mistake I would have made was filling up a location too quick, so make sure you don't do that. There's a lot of in and outs of this deck, so if you're going to take it as is and play it, just be careful. There's a lot of things you got to really get right. It's a lot of order of operations, right? So you got to play certain cards before you play certain other ones every time, and you can really screw yourself up if you don't pay really close attention and do that. So we got Red Skull. He's got Wave. All right, so we're probably going to just Zola. So I reveal first, so there's not much he can do. If I Zola this, I will get a 30 power Red Skull at both the middle and the left location. So I will end up doing exactly what I said I don't want to do by doubling Red Skull's ability, but I think it's enough power at 30 that I'm not too worried about giving his characters +4 on his side. I mean, even if he fills up the board, he played Wave, so he's not going to fill up the board. Most he can play is 1 card there, or 2 if he played both his things there. Alright, so we got Red Skull on the left, we got Red Skull in the middle, so 30 power at the Space Storm, we're going to win that. 30 power in the middle. He's Shang-Chi's, and we dodged the Shang-Chi with Arnim Zola, which feels so good because Shang-Chi has been a nemesis of this deck. I just said it in the description. Shang-Chi can absolutely brutalize this deck, and if you don't want to run armor to mix yourself up, and I suggest trying armor and Cosmo if you guys want to try to get around this, but if you reveal first, you can totally just Arnim Zola it, kill your Red Skull, dodge it, get the win to other locations. So guys, that's the deck. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It's a pretty popular strategy. Shuri's really, really fun. Let me know what other Shuri decks you've come up with and other Red Skull decks you've come up with in the comments below. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Take it for a spin. Just be careful because there is a lot that you need to learn with this deck in order to pilot it perfectly every time. Good luck. Make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, and as always, keep on snapping.